morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let me kill this intro. Let's kill the intro. Yeah. There we go. There we go. What's going on, everybody? How are y'all feeling today? Good morning to Detroit Gemini in the building early. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. Zedric, what's going on? Good morning. Good morning, Charmaine. Good morning, Miss Brown. Shout out to y'all for being here, up and at it early. Good morning, Cheryl. The media can't help themselves, can they? Zedric, no, they cannot. No, they cannot. They can't. Hey, keep talking. I want them to keep talking. Keep talking. C. Brown Run, good morning. Keith Hunt in the building, Jersey in the house. Good morning. Good morning again, Detroit Gemini. Latika, good morning. Doggy Bone, what's good? Selmo, what's good? Beast is in the building as always. Good morning, Beast. What's good? Shout out to everybody being here early. I appreciate y'all. Man, oh man. It's gonna be a good one, y'all. It's gonna be a good one. Let them keep talking. Miss Sparks up. Good morning. The more they talk, the more they are exposing themselves. Talk to them. I want them to keep talking. I want them to get comfortable. I want them to keep going on shows and keep exposing how you truly felt and how you felt the entire time. Because now people can't do the plausible deniability thing that they did previously. So it was a lot of gaslighting going on this summer. It was a lot of gaslighting going on this fall. What do you know? The truth always comes to the light. And the truth is coming out. And we're going to get to the truth. So everybody saw Russ Tucker on UCSS. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to G. Bush saying it right in front of Zach Jackson. He said it in front of Jason Lloyd. He said the players are ready for Shedeur to shut down that narrative. We're going to shut that down. Nobody has responded and called G. Bush out and said, nah, I don't believe it. Nobody wants to talk about Dillon Gabriel. That's why they keep bringing up things with Shedeur. Good morning, Nita J. You switched your name up on me. I see you, though. I see you. Ross Tucker is a whole clown exposing the hatred of the Sanders family runs deep. Talk to him. That is true. They're exposing it. We're also going to get to Emory Hunt. Emory Hunt has held his ground the entire time. We're going to go back and see if Emory Hunt has been right or if Emory Hunt has been wrong. He's been calling some things out all along the way. We're going to get to that. So just a really well put together show today. So I definitely look forward to it. Hope you all enjoy it. Shout out to all of y'all for being here. What player would give Zach and Mary Kay honest assessment of the situation when they are extensions of the Browns? Talk to him. Zedric. When they blindly go say things and they become a microphone for what the Browns want to get out there, there's no trust there. You would never go to them and say, Hey man, we not really feeling Dillon. We ain't really feeling Dillon. You would never go to them and say that. You would never do it. So that's why it was gaslighting from the beginning for Anthony Lima to even say that, because he knew it wouldn't happen. When has Mary Kay, so if you've been a Browns fan for years, and if you just became a Browns fan when Shedeur got here, when have y'all heard Mary Kay say, "This is what a player told me"? When have y'all heard her say that? Same question for Zach Jackson. When have y'all heard Zach Jackson, Jason Lloyd, Jay Crawford, people who were there, Daryl Reuter, Ken Carman, Anthony Lima, Jonathan Peterlin, when have y'all heard them say, player has said X, Y, or Z? When have y'all heard it? Y'all haven't heard it. Y'all haven't. So they're not gonna start now. Nita, you see it. Miss Brown, you see it. Never have I ever heard them say that. It's not gonna start now, y'all. So the whole point of doing that, and creating that storm by Anthony Lima, he was using a really good debate tactic. It works if you're in a debate. If you're in a debate and you don't have an answer to what is happening, it's called the direct and redirect. That's what they're doing. They are deflecting from people speaking on Dillon Gabriel, and they are saying, let's look at Shedeur and why Shedeur's not playing. Let's not talk about Dillon Gabriel being so bad. You know why they don't want to talk about do you know why they don't want to talk about Dillon Gabriel being so bad? Because they were the ones who said, trust Kevin Stefanski, trust the offense, trust the guys that see him every day. So now when they want those same people fired, they cannot say, trust the people I told you to trust, when it worked in favor of saying things against Shedeur. That's the tactic they are using. It won't work. We saw through it. Even Peterlin came out in the evening and said he's seen the messages when they work together. There you go. Big facts. But even more, Ross exposed how a miscommunication or perception over an interview projected how his views / media made it normal for, well, that's why he fell. Talk to him, Doggy Bone. Triple Threat Sports, what's good? Let me see. Let me get back. Triple Threat Sports, what's good? Latanya, good morning. Yes, they are using the reasonable doubt method. No facts. Talk to him, Nita. Talk to him. They're all starting to backpedal. Yes, they are backpedaling faster than Coach Prime in his prime, when he was either on the Dallas Cowboys or the San Francisco 49ers. They backpedaling out of there because it looks crazy now. That's why I always say, people who stick to what they see, call it early, and stand on it, I hold them in a higher regard than I do somebody who is Johnny come lately, who was pushing for something that wasn't good and tries to switch it up later. I heard her one time defending where she got negative information from about Shedeur, but it sounded like Stefanski. She never said whom. And the players start coming out in support of Shedeur. There you go. There you go. I've been a Browns fan my whole life. Mary Kay, I always thought it was funny when more people start covering the Browns and they were calling Mary Kay an insider. I was like, man, they're using real football terms and how real things happen in big cities, and they're putting that on the Browns, and the Browns don't have that infrastructure. The Browns don't have the person that's in the spotlight who has the voice of the players when they're coming out saying things. The closest thing to that is G. Bush. Besides that, they're not all these people who are in touch with the locker room and know what's going on. They're there. They're asking questions. They're not seeing practice anymore. But the players aren't there with them. Another thing I'll say, to G. Bush's credibility. G. Bush, I'm not going to say the player. We're going to leave it there. I'm not going to say the player, but G. Bush had insight when a widely known player for the Cleveland Browns wanted to get out of the Browns and wanted to leave the Browns. And he was tied in with said player and was speaking directly to said player. So I never questioned G. Bush being tied in. I never questioned the players tapping in with him. So if you notice, the media, when they're sitting right across from G. Bush on the couch or in the chair, UCSS, they never push back when he says he speaks to the players. So they know he's not lying. That's why it's no pushback. They know it. Shout out to y'all, man. I'm seeing a bunch of people in the chat so far. So definitely shout out to y'all. Let me make sure I can see the whole chat. Make sure live chat is on. I don't want to miss anybody. So must be OBJ. Hey, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to let, I let the internet do its investigations and find out if they see. This is what I'm going to do. Let's see. If somebody gets it right in the chat, this is what all I'm going to do is I'm going to play the victory sound if somebody gets it right. Dang, y'all quick with it. Y'all are really quick with it. Y'all are quick with it. Attention. Y'all on top of it. Y'all see the answers. The answers are there in the chat. The answers are in the chat. So if you're watching this on the replay, you got to go to the chat replay to find the answer to that question that I posed or that information I put out there. Yeah, they said quietly. They don't say nothing. What I don't like is when they speak as Shedeur as some lame QB who can't process or function as an elite player. And what we seen in Colorado, we really didn't see. That's a fact. Triple Threat Sports, that's a fact. That's why we got to look at Emory Hunt. Because he's been saying something for a long time. That's enough of the intro, man. Y'all are ready to go. Let's get into this thing. That's enough of the open. Let's go. Let's get this thing going. Let's rock. Let's get it rock and rolling. We got a jam-packed show, a lot to get to, so let's go. This is what kind of caused this storm. Or this is the start of what caused the storm, I should say. Let me play it.
Craziest thing I've ever experienced as a broadcaster. If you say anything positive about Shedeur Sanders, there's like an army. I don't know if they're bots or what, but there's like an army of people on social media that will just kill you and say, stop kissing up to him. He's not good, blah, 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 blah.
Shedeur has a lot of haters. That part is true.
Conversely, if you say anything even a little bit critical, there's an even bigger army of bots that comes out of the woodwork.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Say, how dare you say that? How can you say that?
And this is where he starts to go off the rails. He's going off the rails because you can critique Shedeur without people coming at you. When Shedeur was playing in the Rams game, I'm a Shedeur believer. I believe in Shedeur. I said Shedeur can't run backwards. He can't do that. He has to just realize that the play is over, get down. Nobody came at me for saying that critique of Shedeur doing that. Nobody came at me. What they're doing is, this is called manipulation. This is manipulating, because people come at people when you lie on Shedeur. That's when they come at you. When you bring up things or make up stories about Shedeur, that's when they come and they killing that with a sledgehammer. And that's what they don't like. People don't come at you for critiquing or criticizing Shedeur. That's where he's going to be wrong. That's going to be wrong. They come at you for lying on Shedeur. That's what it is. Zedric, I went back too far. Yeah, a little bit too far. We've been believing in G. Bush over all of them. That's a fact. Or when they treat him as a marketing tool to fill seats, insulting to his football skills. Talk to him, Nita. Do you remember when the Browns played overseas and they had Shedeur, big old advertisements of Shedeur right in front of where they played overseas? That's using him. Always paying to him when he on the sidelines. That's trying to use his name to get more clicks and views. That's also trying to use his image to get more clicks and views. So we ain't falling for it. What's good, Asante? What is going on, Asante? Good morning. The worst part to me was the bounty by his grandpa, and everyone thought it was funny. Then Jay set up the volley with the Shedeur not interviewing. Talk to them. That was the worst part about anything he said out of that whole clip. That was the worst part. That's why I said this is the start of it. But that was the worst part, because what that shows you is, and what that confirms is, there is a hatred for Coach Prime. There always been a hatred for Coach Prime. And what they wanted people, they gaslit people this entire time and said, who doesn't like Coach Prime? Who doesn't like him? Well, obviously, people haven't liked him for a long time. He's going to say his grandfather played when they had leather helmets. When he was playing in the league and Coach Prime was on the Baltimore Ravens, his grandfather wanted to give him $10K to take out Coach Prime. Is that not hate? Is that not hate, y'all? Talk to me. That's hate. So now it's out. It's on the internet. It's going to live forever. He said it. Now people are going to be able to go look up his grandfather and say, this is the one who was hating on Coach Prime. Now, when we get to the full breakdown of this portion later, this is what you got to remember. We are not talking about how sports are played today. You got to go back to how sports were when his grandfather was playing sports. When his grandfather was playing sports, it was still some lines. There was some lines there. There was some separation. They didn't like showboating. They didn't like celebrating. They didn't like people acting a certain way. And they definitely didn't like a cocky black man telling you, I'm going to beat you and there's nothing you could do about it. And then I go out there and I beat you. They cannot stand it. Their issue with Shedeur is not football related. Their issue with Shedeur stems from their dislike for Coach Prime, because he had the confidence, he had the swagger to just be better than y'all at what y'all been doing for way longer than us. That's what they didn't like. Oh, baseball is so hard. Baseball is the hardest sport. Okay, what does Coach Prime do? I'm going to play baseball, football in the exact same day and show y'all I'm better than y'all. That's the issue. That's the core of the issue. That's the root of the issue. I don't like him because he's better than me. That's the root of the issue. That's what it is. So if y'all want to know how the show going to end, that's where it's going to end at. I don't like Coach Prime because he's better than me, and he told me he's better than me, and there's nothing I can do to win. If you want to leave the show now, you know what the show's about. Shout out to some people getting in here. Q-Dog, remember that Carolina game? Sanders was checking off the plays called, making 100% IQ plays that ended with big plays or touchdown. This was embarrassing to Stefanski play calling. Talk to him. Your granddad was raised in Jim Crow. He didn't know what a bounty is. Yeah, okay. Plausible deniability. Remember that. That's what they're going to try to use. Even after he said it, he's going to say plausible deniability. That's, come on, man. We know better than that. Marie, what's going on? Texas in the house. Ross is lying on Shedeur. No way Shedeur is sitting in the back seat of his pickup truck. And two, even if he was, I am sure the truck is tinted. No way Ross would have seen him. That's crap. Cap. Talk to him. Talk to him. When have y'all seen Shedeur in any video riding around in a car that don't have tents on it? Come on, man. That is so crazy. That they lost their mind, that they didn't lose their mind. They just sat back and they was chilling. Preach, D. Better and blacker. Facts. C. Brown run. Facts. These people's ancestors burned down Black Wall Street simply because they couldn't stand seeing successful black people. It's in their blood. The hate, the jealousy, the envy runs deep in their bones. Talk to them. That is the root cause of the hatred for Coach Prime. That's the root cause. Now let's go through it. Y'all know I got a show for y'all. That That was just a warm up. That was the warm up. Now let's get to it. Let's go through it. We're going to break the whole thing down. We're going to get to Russ Talker at the end, but y'all know what it's about. Let's talk about, they have a plan for Shedeur. It look ugly now. That's why they haven't traded him. Brucey Gabriel's just auditioning for next year. They're dying on the hill wanting to be right. They have a need to be right. Smart people understand when things are not going their way. They've miscalculated or misjudged or made an incorrect decision. What they do is they go and they pivot from making that bad decision. The Browns are stuck. Kevin Stefanski is stuck. He has to be right. He has to be right about what he saw and the reason why he believes in Dillon Gabriel. Everybody sees he's wrong. Everybody sees he's wrong. And he's just doubling, tripling down on it. You got to be right. I'm glad you're talking about this. The nerve of him to feel so comfortable to talk about that out loud. It's a different time where they are saying the quiet stuff out loud. That's facts. That's facts. We better be aware it's no joke. That's a fact. Everything is being exposed. That's a fact. It's out there. The Rams game wasn't a good game to measure Shedeur because the deck was stacked against him. Facts. After the Rams game, the first thing I said was Kevin Stefanski can't beat cover one. If you notice, the Browns have teams have ran the most cover one against the Cleveland Browns. And I saw that he had a bad offensive line and he had plays that were developing 10 and 15 yards down the field. It was no way that was going to work. It wasn't going to work. It was a poor plan. It was a poor scheme. I called out the scheme. People said I was scared for Shedeur. Now that in the season, the Browns have just started beating cover one and we're halfway through the season, shows that when I called it out initially, I was right from the beginning. John Gruden said he can come in and turn the team around with Shedeur. What do you think? I think if John Gruden is given a fair shot, fair control, and he believes in Shedeur, I think that is the smartest approach to take based on the Cleveland Browns' current situation. If you want to have success in Cleveland moving forward, I'm talking about after the Andrew Berry, after the Kevin Stefanski, we know what that is. Y'all know how I feel about him. If you want to have success and turn this around, you have to build around the quarterback that's in the building so you can use all your draft capital to revamp this offense. So you got to start. You say, look, we're going to build around Shedeur. We're going to get some offensive alignment. We're going to get some receivers. We're going to get a more creative scheme. And that's how you go forward. If you think the solution to the Cleveland Browns and fixing them is to go get Ty Simpson, who hasn't even started 15 games, or to go get Fernando Mendoza and not have all this talent around them, then you're fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself. Absolutely, he can. Shedeur just needs someone to believe him. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's all it is. I watch all these guys in college. I told y'all early, I was the first one to tell you it was only two. If y'all notice, everybody is starting to echo the sentiments that I said after week 4. I said it's only 2 guys worth watching. After week 4, I saw it. I saw it right away. If you're going to draft Ty Simpson from Alabama, Alabama's offensive coordinator is so creative, you're going to have to put him in a situation with a very creative offensive coordinator. So if the Browns decide we're going to be losers and we're going to keep Kevin Stefanski, bringing Ty Simpson to Kevin Stefanski's offense is a waste. You need a way more creative offensive play caller. Way more creative. So Ty Simpson coming here is not going to fix it. I told y'all about Fernando Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza, if y'all notice, I said, somebody asked me what I thought about him. I'm pretty sure it was Beast. And I said, he needs to go into a system that's very similar to a system that Jared Goff is in. The system that Jared Goff is in is he is a cog. He can make all the throws, but the talent around him is what make the Detroit Lions offense go. You got 2 running backs. You got a power back. You got a speed back. You got speed wide receivers. You got a possession tight end who can also block. You have all the tools. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is a beast in the slot. If you don't have that system that you're putting Fernando Mendoza in, it is a waste to take Fernando Mendoza. Those are the 2 QBs who you can build something off of. If you don't have those 2 systems in place, it's not worth taking them. That's just it. Those are the facts. I watched them. I watched these guys. I really believe there is some hope and belief in that locker room. They want to see Shedeur will do with them. Browns are also relatively healthy this year. Zedric, that's a fact. Nobody is bringing up health. I I think 60% of the Browns payroll was on IR last year. Very injured team. Very injured team. What do you think of John Gruden's QB analysis on Clean Pocket with Cope McCoy? He talked about Shedeur limitations and GG not being NFL ready. Nita, I haven't seen it. I would have to tap into it to give you like a better assessment. I haven't seen it though. I'll have to tap into it. If we got time towards the end of the show today, I'll look for it, pull it up, and then we can go through it live. Good morning, Maurice. They just showed their true colors. They just show how they really feel. Facts. That's it. That's it. Let's get this thing going. Let's rock and roll. Now we're going to get to Kevin Stefanski. Because also in this mix, Kevin Stefanski is somehow not the subject of what everybody should be talking about. If you are talking about the Cleveland Browns right now, you should be talking about two things. You should be talking about your poor play at quarterback, and you should also be talking about Kevin Stefanski inability to make adjustments and get more out of his team. And part of that starts with accountability. I'm going to show y'all some coaches who are speaking on accountability and why this is a Kevin Stefanski issue. First, we got Nick Saban. Y'all know how I feel about Nick.
Today. Why are you so tough on people?
Well, I don't know if that's fair that I'm really tough on people. We create a standard for how we want to do things. And everybody's got to buy into that standard, or you really can't have any team chemistry. You know, mediocre people don't like high achievers, and high achievers don't like mediocre people.
I've told you 3 times already today.
Talk to him. High achievers don't like mediocre people, and mediocre people don't like high achievers. That's why I can call out Kevin Stefanski, because he's okay with being mediocre. First pick, Tate from Ohio State. Second pick, a top offensive lineman. Second round offensive lineman. I like where you're going. Two receivers I really like. I like Cornell Tate from Ohio State. As y'all know, I'm an Ohio State fan. Also, I like why is his name slipping me now right now? Jordan Tyson from Arizona State. I was watching a lot of Sam Levitt, just breaking down his film. And the thing that jumped off the page was Jordan Tyson is one of the best receivers in college. So I would take either of those two receivers. Either one of those two, I'm definitely fine with it. And then you got to go heavy. You got to go offensive lineman. I agree with you, Q-Dog. 2 of your top 3 picks need to be offensive linemen. That's a fact. Yep, they're being exposed. They're definitely being exposed as a fact. The Browns will take Simpson or Mendoza and ruin them. People should watch the South Dakota State coach's critique of Shedeur. He was on point. I do recall seeing that he was breaking down how basically you got to throw so many things at Shedeur because of his level of understanding of the game. So I do remember seeing that. Yeah, if you think the solution is getting Ty Simpson or Fernando Mendoza, just be prepared for another bad season. The haters say to believe Shedeur will start winning when offense wide receiver core, then you're stupid. No, that's not the case. We just know that Shedeur actually make the passes Dillon can. Talk to him. Nobody is saying that Shedeur is going to take the Browns to the Super Bowl with this current roster. What they're saying is he can wake up out of his sleep and do better than what Dillon Gabriel's doing. We broke down the 3rd down plays. We broke down the 4th down play. Dillon Gabriel was back there bunny hopping around. In pressure moments, you want to see how somebody responds. I watched the whole game. I watched the game live with y'all. I watched all the plays afterwards. Not the TV copy because it doesn't really give you the picture. I watched the all 22 copy so I can really see what's going on. Then I go to 3rd downs and if we go for any 4th downs because I want to see what you do under pressure. Under pressure is where we really get to see what's happening. That's when we really see what's happening. So that's why we always watch 3rd downs. If y'all are curious why, I want to see what they do under pressure. Under pressure, 7 times out of 10, Dillon Gabriel is not making a correct play under pressure. BYU apparently threw 16 different coverages at him that bowl game. Yeah, they were trying to throw him off. And Shedeur also was trying to highlight some of his receivers who are still going to be, specifically Emory Hunt because he was injured. And he wanted to get some good film on him. So it didn't work. A loss is a loss. That's what happens. You're right. Shedeur can play off schedule with the best of them. Yeah, because what they try to use is they say, oh, he's holding the ball. When he's holding the ball, it's to make a play downfield. So my question is always, Is he holding the ball on 1st and 10, or is he holding the ball on 3rd or 4th down and making a play? If you are making a play on 3rd and 4th down, I understand what you're doing. If it comes to 4th down and you're just gonna sit back there and take a sack like Dillon Gabriel did this week, then I have an issue with that. If you hold the ball to try to extend the play to make something happen on 4th down, are we really knocking you? Come on now. Stefanski can't coach to Shedeur's level of talent. That's exactly why he likes Dillon being mid. No way a winning coach thinks Dillon is it. No way. Facts. Stefanski is not good with expectations. Whenever the Cleveland Browns have expectations, the Browns do not do well. When everybody writes the Browns off and says, oh, they're going to be trash, then his seasons go better. That's why 2 of 6 seasons, they say, oh, well, he made the playoffs, 2 of 6 seasons. Oh, he was coach of the year, blah, 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 blah. When he doesn't have expectations, he does better. But greatness is proven when you have expectations, not when you don't. So that's where he always fails. Let's go. Let's keep it going.
3 mistakes in that.
We saw Kevin Stefanski not show any issues with how that game ended. We watch how the game ended. This is going to be Jim Schwartz speaking on it. Jim Schwartz is not dancing around it. What these coaches realize is we got to show that we hold people accountable, even if the head coach won't. Bubba Ventrone calling out the mistakes. Jim Schwartz calling out the mistakes. Tommy Reese calling out the mistakes. Kevin Stefanski, we win and lose as a team. We got to do better. Insane. Why is Marvin Harrison game not working in the NFL? I would say it's not his game. Kyler Murray is off schedule a lot, and Marvin Harrison played on schedule. It's just look at Marvin Harrison's numbers playing with Jacoby Brissett, who many people believe is a career backup, versus him playing with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is also the one who said he just has to run the play last year, and his job is not to only force the ball to Marvin Harrison. Well, Marvin Harrison was a top 10 pick. You should be forcing the ball to him. So that's what it is. I would say it's more so his quarterback, not his game. Shedeur's aura and talent overtakes the entire Browns organization. That's Stefanski's real fear. Yes, Shedeur goes out and proves who he is, who we believe him to be. You got to hand the keys over to him. It's my way or the highway. When you have a key, when you have a franchise quarterback, they run the show. The head coach is less the man, especially somebody who's not proven in the playoffs. They're not the man no more. They got to go with the keys. Tommy Reese stated he made a mistake with that last play. Facts. We're going to get to it. Ironic that the head coach can say that we're holding people accountable, and the ones showing it is his staff. Facts. Let's go. He's going to talk about it right here.
That game, we get a holding penalty on 3rd and extra long, when they're just trying to keep the clock running. And then we jump off sides, cardinal sin in 4 minute, really embarrassing play for us. And the other one where, we're aggressive to try to keep them out of field goal range. It's a tight game where we were behind the 8 ball early in the game, and, we're trying to keep them out of field goal range. So you're aggressive and you're blitzing, and they get one block and all of a sudden they can score a touchdown, So even though when you look at a lot of the, stats and things like that, looks good, it wasn't enough for a win. And, if we either make a play here or don't commit a penalty or, just make a mistake, then, maybe we give us a better chance to win that game. But there were a lot of things that, we're proud of with the game, but we're never proud of a loss.
There you go. Accountability. Do you think Coach Prime going to get fired? Yesterday, 80 wanted him at Colorado. Step down, take another road to school. Ooh, I got to look into that. I got to look into that, Beast. I haven't really looked into it. I think they would be foolish to fire Coach Prime. Foolish. Very foolish.
Always, like we've said all year, when you look at protection, it's so much more than just the offensive line or the individuals. It's schematic. It's how the routes are getting open, how the progressions are going, situations in the game on what you're trying to do. So you look at it as a coach and, okay, are we putting them in the right position? When you are, and there's an error, then you got to look at why that happened. Is it something fundamentally we need to fix? Is it something maybe the look of the defense we didn't get across to them and they didn't understand mentally on where they're supposed to be going? And then, there's the couple where you say, hey, are we putting them in the right spot? So after a game, win or loss, that's really how you evaluate it. Like, did we put them in the right spot? Did they execute it? Yes, great, move on. Did we put them in the right spot? Did they not execute it? Why? Is it fundamental, something we can fix? Is it an understanding, something we need to fix? Or is it, hey, they want a matchup and give their hats off to them and move on to the next play? So that's where our focus is, on the areas where we can improve our guys and get them better fundamentally or get them better mentally pre-snap on understanding what we're trying to do. And that's our job as coaches.
So everybody can speak to accountability. Everybody can speak to things they could do better. Everybody can speak to situations they would like handled differently, except Kevin Stefanski. They are separating themselves from how he does things and how they do things. All right, where we at? Why is Cam on 4th and 1 advocating to keep Dillon in, justifying Dillon's bad play, and not put Shedeur in? He understands the politics of the negative narrative that will place on Shedeur. Really? So when I'm writing this down, while we watching this, I'm making sure I'm old school, man. So I'm writing down the stuff that y'all are telling me to check out, because this is crazy. Cam Newton, man, oh man, he up and down now. He up and down. He understands how the negative narrative impacted him and the reason why he's not in the league, and now he's crazy. I'm just taking notes. If we got time, we're going to get to some of this stuff. Y'all will get my live reaction towards the end of the show. Marie says, I don't think so. I saw a video last night with Duke the Scoop. He said Coach Prime knew it was coming and he should be good. Okay. Good there. The wheels turning against Kevin. Think he's the one under the bus now. Facts. Yeah, I agree, Maurice. Big mistake to fire Coach Prime. Big mistake.
Blame for the Deshaun Watson trade that objectively was a failure.
So Paul DePodesta, the boogeyman who stepped down, he is the one who went and he's going to be working with the Colorado Rockies. Even he is taking shots at Kevin Stefanski. So if you notice, the tides are turning. People are starting to see the writing on the wall. The coaches are saying, hey, we hold people accountable even if he doesn't. You heard that from Jim Schwartz. You heard that from Bubba Matrone. You heard it from Tommy Reese. Now you got DePodesta, who ain't never really say nothing, saying, I didn't call the plays. You like, whoa.
With that organization. Is that fair? And if so, how can you be assured that you won't do something like that again here now in Colorado?
The previous question was about big swings, huh?
Risk.
Yeah. I was also calling plays for the Browns, and no. Look, and I've said this before, I think whenever you have a significant player decision, whether it's a trade, big free agent signing, number 1 draft.
He kind of speaks just like them. Basically, he going to say we all was in on it. It wasn't just me. I told y'all a while ago, I said Kevin Stefanski's worst, the worst thing that can happen for him is for national people to start picking up and calling out his job. Bruce Arians was saying that. Now you got coaches kind of showing that how I handle things versus how Kevin handled things. And then you have DePodesta saying I didn't call the plays. You got Deshaun Watson liking TikToks about Kevin Stefanski ruins quarterbacks. It's all crumbling all around him. Yeah, I had Dan Orlowski and his take on the show. I moved it from the show because I'm like, Dan Orlowski said if you take away the bad years, Kevin Stefanski's good. Well, wouldn't that work with any quarterback? Wouldn't that work with any coach? Wouldn't that work with anybody? If I get up here, now just be honest with me for a second. Be honest with me, y'all. If I get up here and y'all watch me and my streams are good for all these weeks in a row, then my streams just start being trash. I don't show no energy. I'm not the person you grew to enjoy or the person you enjoy listening to. Would y'all still show up? And would I be able to in turn be mad at y'all for not showing up if you didn't like what I was putting out there? Y'all wouldn't show up for me, and I understand that. So I know that I gotta be good every day. I can't just have lapses on 4, 5, and 6 shows. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. But Kevin Stefanski can be bad 3 years out of 5 or 4 out of 6, and we just write off the 4 bad years? What are we doing, man? What are we doing? It don't make no sense. It makes no sense. Coach Prime is in year 3 of a 5-year contract in Colorado. After that, he's possibly going to coach Shedeur. I think I think it's 5% that he could coach in the NFL, but only to coach Shedeur. Ron Cam only said that Sanders can't help an already bad team keep Dillon in there. We're going to add it to the list. When we get to the end of this, we're going to check this thing out. Cam bounced back and forth, like you said. I don't listen much. Yeah, he all over the place. Cleveland needed to address the O-line and receiver this offseason, developed Shedeur. I agree with that. The funny thing about it, Cam can in the league throwing to nobodies, but don't understand how Shedeur can change the tempo of the game. Talk to him. Watch the whole segment. He says it's not all on Dillon. He says Shedeur should not play. That means the whole season. What? I am, without even seeing this, any person who says Shedeur does not need to play the whole season, I disagree with that person, because I know how they're brewing up these narratives, and they're going to say he couldn't even get on the field for a bad team. So any person who advocates for Shedeur not playing this year, I disagree with that person's logic and that person's view. Without even seeing it, I have a hard stance on that. I'm not dancing in the gray area. Hard stance. If you say Shedeur shouldn't play this whole year, I totally disagree with you. Colorado has much more talent than people realize. The QB is the problem. One isn't ready. The other never was. I would say Juju showed flashes. He's a very young freshman, so I would say you start building everything around him. We watched Caden Salter melt just like we're watching Dillon Gabriel melt. So that's how I see that. Yeah, we don't need to. We don't need no more Dan. No, I was putting it together and I was getting all my clips. I'm like, yeah, we gonna skip past that. We don't need that. Let's get to the next one.
I just.
And on the perimeters.
All right, so the one I just skipped where they were bringing up the G. Bush stuff, so we just going to go right to G. Bush instead of kind of staying there for too long, them just kind of throwing the alley-oop to it. We're going to go right to it. I truly like a site, but when they kept talking about Mary Kay, I got turned off. Mary Kay said she is a leaf in the wind. Oh, my goodness. I always call Mary Kay a microphone because I don't believe she believes the stuff she says. She just writes it. So she just amplifies somebody else's view. I feel the same way about Jason Lloyd, Jay Crawford, all those people. They don't really have thoughts. And if you don't have a thought, then there's nothing I can do with you. I've heard a few fans say that, too, with their perspective being, what if he wins you games? They want to tank, but tanking isn't good for the culture. It's bad. Juju looked better than K-Star in one game, more accurate. He ready. Yeah, Juju, to me, his accuracy just stood out. It was some times where he placed passes where Caden Salter can't dream about placing them there. And I was like, okay, this is a freshman. You see how quick you see things, you see flashes that you can build upon? How can you advocate that a kid who has worked hard all his life not get a chance at his dream? What if it was your son? Talk to him. Talk to him, Triple Threat Sports. I can't rock with that. I can't rock with that saying sit him the whole year. I can't go for that. Good morning, Dawn. I can't advocate for that. I can't advocate for just bench him, sit him there. Do y'all know how fast I would be excited for Kevin Stefanski to leave and go to New York? The New York media is not going for what he gets away with in Cleveland. They'd chew him up and spit him out. He wouldn't last there 2 years.
Earlier in the week, but I heard Mary Kay on the radio this morning. She was on with Ken and Lima, and they asked her, have you heard from any players clamoring for Shedeur behind the scenes, like calling for him, it's his time? I'm just curious, you're in there as much as anyone else. Have you heard any? She said no, by the way.
No, I have not heard that, and Lima's been beating that drum, right? Like, right. It's a fair question because you do hear that generally, but I think people have hit the wall now. I think what I heard was the frustration about the defense, the penalties last week, and the obvious frustration about the special teams.
So he's there, and the only thing he heard about was the basic stuff that was right out there exposed. He didn't hear any insight or any frustrations with anything else. Yes, those are haters in disguise saying Shedeur shouldn't play. Totally agree. Spiritual War Exposed. What's going on? I ain't seen you in a minute. What's going on? I love Juju. He's going to be a great addition and asset for Colorado. Totally agree. Zach didn't have anything to say after either. Nope. He just sat there quiet. Nah, we don't want Kevin Stefanski. Keith, you a Giants fan. You said we don't want him. We don't want him. Yeah, surface level stuff. This is so he's speaking like it's insight, but they're just calling out the obvious. Just Captain Obvious. That's what they're calling out to him.
Yeah. But like you just look.
And also that means they're just going through the motions with what they say to him. You're here. We're going to talk to you. Go through the motions.
He's not a developmental quarterback right now. He's a quarterback who's hit the wall. Right? You have your picture painted of who Dillon Gabriel is because he has done nothing but go backwards since that first game.
That's right.
He is overmatched. And the numbers say that, and the eye test says it, and the reality says that he always was. But they put him out here. They rushed him in. They didn't do him any favors. They're not doing him any favors with this receiving core. But it's very clear. He is not going to be an NFL quarterback. And that has been the case since the spring.
And that's why I can't listen to this Shedeur Sanders is not ready. Because even if he's not, neither is Dillon Gabriel. So just play.
So the plan is going to talk them. They're not going to mess up their money or their chance to play. Facts, Ms. Brown. Been missing your lives call today. Hey, shout out to you. It's been a minute. Glad to have you here. Those players are conditioned to stick to the strip. Facts. He also can't say everything he heard because they have a narrative and everybody else has to be on board for it to live. G. Bush already exposed the locker room was talking. Facts. So the players are going to talk to him and mess with their money or not play. Facts. They got a script. It was mailed to him. They sent it to him. They said, hey, these are your marching orders. When you go out there, stick to the script. Don't say anything else. And they're sticking to it. So anything else would be against their marching orders.
Play him. Yeah. And if he stinks.
I don't always agree with Bull, but here Bull is saying, hey, now we can't even trust the he not ready stuff. Bull is even to a point where he's saying, nah, the he not ready stuff not going to work. That's not going to work for me. He ain't falling for it.
He stinks.
Well, it's so bad that the argument automatically takes off in a different direction, right? Like, those two are not really related. Like, was Dillon ready to play? Sure. He just can't do it. With Shedeur, it's totally different.
Yeah, that's true.
And like we have said, maybe the one way out, because we're talking about Mac Jones here 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. Right? Maybe the one way out is for Shedeur to be the answer, for Shedeur to be the starter.
Right.
Oh, why not number 4?
Because we've seen him play. He's made 19 starts here.
For Tyvis to be somebody who says he's an athlete or a former player and not part of the media, that's a media question that he just, why not number 4? Come on, man. What we doing? What we doing? What are we doing?
He making a comeback.
I don't think so. I still am.
He's not going to play.
I still be very surprised if he's on the field.
It's the Browns, so you never know.
The door is open.
And can I debunk it? This talking point got to die too.
What's that?
The whole, if somebody
talk to him, G.
saw
Bush.
him play and the players
talk to him.
Seen him, somebody would.
What is the big secret? Why are they deceiving us? Did you watch Money Man video about how they got us looking one way while they're planning to surround Shedeur with everything you need to be successful? That's the smart approach. I didn't see his video. Shout out to Money Man. I didn't see his video, but that would be the smart approach. That's why I always said from the beginning, if you're a new GM, if you're a new GM or if you're a coach coming in here, the best scenario for you is to believe in Shedeur and build around Shedeur. That's the best. That's the best scenario. That's the best scenario if you want to have success. If you come in here and say you got to give up additional draft capital to draft Ty Simpson or Fernando Mendoza, let's get ready for the next failure. That's what it'll be. So Bull be on that BS too. He just flipping because the writing's on the wall. He don't want to lose his credibility. I agree with that. With Bull, that's why I say, like, whenever I say, like, I agree with Bull here, I always got to say I don't always agree with Bull because most of the time I don't agree with Bull. Last person to glowingly speak about Shedeur got cut, Tony Brown Sr. Talk to him. Talk to him. The game is literally too big for Dillon. That's a fact. Tyvis is their little token, giggly cornball. It's crazy because when he's on other things, when I see him just with G. Bush, he'll just say, I feel this way about it. But then when he's on the radio and he calls in, he's on UCSS, he's not really giving his opinion. And if you're not going to give your opinion, then why are we listening to you? You hear that Grossi said Shedeur has been assigned a PR person with him so he doesn't talk to reporters. Are they censoring Shedeur now? Oh, man, I didn't hear that. But that's crazy. That is crazy. Money Man be all over the place. Either it's collusion or it's not, bruh. Stop with these what-if games. We see what they are doing to Shedeur. Yeah, I didn't see what he said. Is there a new general manager? I don't believe so. I'll check real quick. on the fly. Players have spoken to ex-players about how they feel. It's just on the down low. Facts. Tyvus is definitely working Cleveland's narrative. Yeah, he is. He's not saying how he really feels. He's not saying it. Let's get back to G. Bush.
Would have been saying something. Name me the last player that jumped on record when a reporter said, "Hey, what do you think about the quarterback?"
Well, not on record. Nobody's going to say something on record. But guys could be saying something off the record.
Hey, listen, I don't know how many. So let me just tell you.
Last time a backup got any recognition for being good and should be playing was Brock Purdy. When he was a rookie.
There's more recent.
How
Go back to Joe Flacco in 2023. We were hearing about in practice he was tearing up Jason came in was like these dudes won't stop talking about how Joe Flacco torched this defense.
Maybe I gotta just stand. Do I gotta do backflips off this table?
Yes.
Because I done told you multiple times on this show.
Yes.
I said my phone went off the hook last week. I don't even know these folks. They're like, listen, we tired of seeing this. We're tired.
Players?
Yes.
Okay.
We're tired. And by the way, I keep trying to, these ain't no special teamers. You do the math. It ain't special teams dudes running down on kickoff.
I hear you. So, yeah, I don't.
So here's the thing. The reality of the situation is it ain't up to the players to decide who it is. The decision is on Kevin Stefanski to play the guy who gives you an opportunity to do something. And we've obviously seen that he's not the dude. We've seen it. But we have to sit here and pretend. Why are we pretending?
Are we?
Yeah, no, we're not pretending. We're not.
Did Zach say anything about the players? Speaking of G. Bush, did he say anything about I haven't heard that, or if I've heard anything differently? Nope. Nope. I got to see. I'm not mad that they stopped the reporters from talking to Shedeur since they always twist his words. If Shedeur wants to know something, we know his team will let us know. Facts, Marie. Facts. Man, Shedeur got a handler. Wow. Grossi said on the Red Show, look it up later, he was assigned a PR person after his interview where he said he was as good as the current QB play. I don't mind it because it's people who don't believe in Shedeur that's just using his name for clicks. So I'm not upset that Mary Kay can't put something out there that Shedeur said. I'm not upset that what's his name? Tony Grossi can't say, oh, I heard him say this. Y'all pretended for the last 8 weeks though. Facts. All right, let's see. Start at 45. Let me copy this. We got to pivot. 45-minute mark. Okay. We got to pivot. We going to do it live. Let me clean up some of the stuff on my end real quick, and then we're going to get to it. We don't need that. We finished up. We heard G. Bush. We saw it was no pushback. It wasn't there.
Not seeing much of anything.
All right, so this is a good point to pivot because after this, then we're going to get to Emory Hunt and what they're talking about. So, and then we'll get into Ross Tucker last. Shout out to Nita J. Switch your name up. I like it. Let's go. This is the 44 minutes and 59 seconds. We're going to listen to Cam. Let's go.
Especially in pass protection. Like, listen, if you're seeing this message, bro, and you're a real football fan, you know, Dillon Gabriel is playing what you would expect a rookie to play like. If you think by throwing Shedeur Sanders in there and he's going to make a difference, like that, let's just call a spade a spade.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So we're going to pause this right here. And this is what I'm going to say. If there's no day during the week that you can tap in with me Wednesdays, 10:30 a.m. for that live stream, or rewatch the replay of that live stream. What we do is we break down third downs and fourth downs throughout the game. The reason why we break down third and fourth downs is because those are high pressure moments, and in high pressure moments, we want to see how he responds. I'm not going to skim. We're going to watch it. There are opportunities there. This is the laziest take that people have. These are lazy takes. There are opportunities there. If you are telling me that Dillon Gabriel is doing everything he can in this offense, what that tells me is you are not breaking down the tape. It's too many missed opportunities. Fourth down, missed opportunity. He was back there bunny hopping. Third down, missed opportunities. Overthrow on a basic screen pass with no pressure in his face to Malachi Corley with nothing but open field in front of him. There are opportunities there. That's the laziest take. So I had to stop him right there to let y'all know. Go back and watch the live stream. Go back and watch the live stream from Wednesday. Tap in on Wednesdays so y'all can see it. You can see the all 22 looks totally different than when people are breaking down the TV copy. We're going to get back to Cam. I'm going to play it. But to say there's nothing that could be better, he not watching it. He's not watching it. He can't be watching it because I showed it to y'all.
Oh my God! Wow!
Everybody drop that Selmo Foot in the chat. First super chat of the day. Selmo Foot in the chat, everybody. How would you rate Justin Fields' game and Dillon Gabriel's game when they played the Jets? Who do you think had the better game? Let's go. 1,000 subs on the way. That's a fact. We're going to make it. We're going to get there. Okay, so the two games. Justin Fields, if I was coaching offense for the Jets, everything we ran will be based off of RPO. So you will always have to worry about Justin Fields' legs, Breece Hall, and then also I would give him one quick read that he can go to on the pass. That's how I would run it if I was Justin Fields. Justin Fields made one good throw. He made one throw. That was it. He made one throw in that game. His one throw was on the screenplay. Between the two, he was not really – he didn't lose the game. I'll say that. That's the bar for Justin Fields. Dillon Gabriel missed opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. Yeah, Fields don't have a ton of weapons. If you watched the game last night, he was throwing it to Michi. Michi is emerging. That was all he had. That and Bryce Hall. So those will be the 3 points. Spiritual War Exposed. Shout out to you.
Oh my God! Wow! I got money.
I agree with you, Asante. I would take Fields over Gabriel. I would also. Everybody put SWE in the chat. SWE in the chat. Shout out to Spiritual War Exposed. Tapping back in. Haven't seen you in a while. Glad to have you back. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Let's get back to Cam, y'all.
Would I want to see Shedeur Sanders play? Hell yes. Mm-hmm. But I also know the realism of expecting something different with the same circumstances.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because it's like, that crosses my mind. It's like, why? We're 2-7. And I know you say you won't see a difference. But why won't Coach at least play Shedeur for some games?
It's not the quarterback, bro.
Yeah.
I'm
saying, what will you get? So you saying even with this, you won't even get any. You won't even really see what Shedeur is capable of with what he has at his disposal. That's what you're saying,
bro. What I'm saying is, if I'm Shedeur, not under these circumstances.
Like, don't do me like that.
Don't please.
I can't go for this, y'all. I can't go for this. I watched the film. Y'all watched the film with me. Y'all see its opportunities there. So that's the first part I can't go with. Then as a competitor, to say you don't want to go out there and prove that you can be the difference and do more, I can't go for this. I'm going to play more of it. So y'all don't think I'm just picking one part. But so far, the 3 points that he's made, I disagree with all 3 points. All 3 points. Zedric, you see it. It's not the quarterback. Come on. We watch this. We watch the film. We break it down. Opportunities are there. You have the defense. Quinshon Judkins is making something happen when they are loading the box and still getting something out of the run game. What are these guys talking about? This is when people use their name and their understanding of football as a crutch when they're not watching the games. That's what it is. Now, has Cam played football at a way higher level than me? Is he more widely well known than me? Of course. It's not close. It's not close. I'm not taking nothing away from his career. What I am saying is I watch the games live, then I break it down and I watch it. And to just say it's more than a quarterback is the laziest take you can have. It's the laziest take you can have. If you are actually watching the all 22 breakdown, there are opportunities there to extend drives. He is not getting to it. On that 4th and 1 play, on the 4th and 1 play that we broke down the 4th and 1 play. How many times did I show y'all that 4th and 1 play? Shout out to you, Don.
Oh my God! Wow! I got money.
Y'all, please drop Dawn in the chat for me. Drop Dawn in the chat. Thank you, Dawn. Information on point. I appreciate you. Dawn, you are always so kind with your words towards me, so I definitely appreciate you. On that 4th and 1 play, how many bunny hops did we count on that 4th and 1 play? If y'all was here on Wednesday, y'all notice how many bunny hops did we count on that 4th and 1 play? Tommy Reese came out. Tommy Reese said he would change the play call. It was people open on that 4th and 1 play. He had 3 different targets he could go to. It's a quick pass. You know it's a 3-step drop. On 4th and 1, you're not dropping 5 and a 7-step drop, so we can eliminate those. It's a 3-step drop on 4th and 1. 3-step drop. Drop back, quick read, go, release. We watched him take 2 steps and 3 bunny hops and take a sack when he had guys wide open. That is on the quarterback. You have to watch the tape. You got to watch the tape. I always know when somebody didn't watch the tape. I always know when somebody didn't watch the tape. It's very clear to me when they didn't watch the tape. It's the Cleveland Browns. I know they don't want to sit and spend the time on watching these guys. I'm going to tell y'all, the way I show up to y'all with information is because, one, I watch the tape. I watch the tape. I watch the college guys. I watch the pros. I watch the Browns. I'm watching all the snaps. I watch the tape. That's the difference. Y'all saw it. If you was here on Wednesday, when we got to that 4th and 1, put the bunny emoji in the chat for how many bunny hops Dillon Gabriel did on that 4th and 1. If you were here. If you was here, let me know. Now let's listen, because I don't want y'all to think I'm cherry picking, so I'm gonna let it play out. Q said, "Hey, let it play." I'm gonna let it play. Let's let it play.
Y'all already did me like that one time in the last preseason game.
That is true. The unknown is working in his favor.
I'm telling you, the best thing that Shedeur Sanders can do right now, and I've said this to him personally, hey, bro, keep getting better. Understand what it's like being a pro. Whether it's in Cleveland or somewhere else, people are talking. Be a great professional. The same way, overnight, Joe Flacco just poof.
400 Flacco.
You know what I'm saying?
400-yard Flacco.
Bro,
He had
it
bad
could be
numbers.
you too. Like, man, listen, you think this is the only year that quarterbacks be getting hurt?
That's real.
In football, everybody gonna get hurt. So Shedeur, just pay your time. Keep getting better. Keep getting stronger. Keep trying to sharpen your blades.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go in there on that. Because you're on the clock. And if you don't win, having an 0-3 record on your resume ain't sexy.
Yeah.
So that's the realization. When you look at the Cleveland Browns play, Dillon Gabriel ain't sticking it up. They're not losing because of Dillon Gabriel.
Yeah, his numbers aren't terrible.
They losing because they don't have enough receivers that can beat their man-to-man matchups.
Yeah.
This is not true. This is not true, y'all. This is not true. Y'all want me to watch it all the way through. I'm watching it through. I'm letting him say everything he got to say. I'm not chopping it up. It's just, he just not watching it. They just said it. They said, oh, his number's not bad. Dillon Gabriel is not stinking it up. That's what he said. This is not true. This is not true. This is easy. If Cam Newton was here in front of me right now, it's too many points of the game, of every game that Dillon has played, that I could go to where he is making a mistake that's costing them to lose the game. What they're looking for is they're looking for interceptions. They're looking for turnovers, fumbles. Are you looking at sacks? This don't make sense. This don't make sense. What he's saying don't make sense, y'all. If you were looking at the narrative and everything they said about Shedeur this whole time he's been on the Browns, the thing that's going to save Shedeur is Shedeur putting the tape out there. That's what it is. He has to put the tape out there. That is what is going to save Shedeur Sanders. Do y'all know the narratives that will be out there if we didn't have a Carolina game? Even with the Carolina game, look at how Leroy Hoard lied about Shedeur's performance in the Carolina game. Football is the one thing that Shedeur can do to prove all of this stuff was a lie. So to say you don't want him to go play football and put his tape out there is crazy. I don't know what he's trying to advocate for here. He is not watching the games. Is it more that I should be watching? Should we watch this longer to see what he's talking about? Let's see what else he say. I don't want people to say we didn't watch the whole segment. We're going to watch the whole segment until he stops talking about Shedeur. And we're going to see if after I stopped him the first time and said he wasn't watching the games, if we really could have just stopped it there. Let's go, Cam.
He's just really not getting the ball. Well, his past two games, even with the Jets, is 53.1% completion, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. It was clean. Patriots, he threw 156 yards, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. And then the other games, he
talk to him, Detroit Gemini.
0 touchdowns the other 2 games, and then the Vikings game.
Man, the man's or the quarterback's best friend is a stout offensive line, a good running game, and an opportunistic defense. He don't have all those 3.
Yeah.
And
Which ones?
All those.
Which ones does he have, Cam? Out of those 3, Cam said offensive line, run game, opportunistic defense. Which one does he have, Cam? Does he have 1, 2, or 3 of those? What does he have, Cam? Talk to me.
Those 3 to assist a young quarterback.
Yeah.
So Cleveland, you in a messed up situation. You in a murky situation. You in a very, very mushy situation. Yeah. And that's what Kevin Stefanski is up against.
Come on, man. Come on, man. What we doing, man? What we doing?
Oh my God! Wow!
Come on, what we doing, y'all?
I got money.
Everybody like that. Everybody like that from Charmaine. Charmaine, Cam mad face. There you go. We playing this thing all the way through. We planned it all the way through. Thank you, Charmaine. Thank you for always being here. Thank you for all your support. I appreciate you. Everybody, like that from Charmaine. Like that post. We got it's showing me about 70 people in here live. As the super chats come through, make sure y'all like the super chats as they send them. Was trying to be a member, but I think you need to get to 1,000 subs. Selmo Fudd, I'm deciding if I want to do memberships on YouTube or if I want to do memberships on like a Patreon. So I'm kind of working on it on the back end, on my end, determining which route I want to take. Once I make the decision, I will announce it. Everybody will know. I'll let y'all know the perks and everything. So just deciding on which way I'm going to do it. So, but thank you again to Charmaine. Shout out to you, as always. I'm going to let it keep playing, y'all. I'm going to let it keep playing. Let's listen to Cam until he gets off of it. Cam is right about the lack of explosive player Cleveland has on the outside, i.e. wide receivers and interior offensive linemen. Sanders, like all other QBs in the league, need explosive players to win. While on face value, I agree with you, Q. This is the mistake. The mistake that Cam is making is he is not watching the games. So he said it. It won't be any different with Shedeur. That's where I disagree with him. Opportunities are there to be had. Dillon Gabriel is not capable of taking advantage of the opportunities. As a blatant statement, if we weren't talking about the Cleveland Browns from week to week, I would agree with you. As soon as they started looking at Dillon Gabriel's stats and said it's not that bad, they are not watching the games. They're not watching the games. They're not watching it. They're not watching it. He doesn't know what he's talking about because he's not watching the games. That's what it is. Let's ride it out.
Mm-hmm. And then he has to answer this question. What personnel gives me the best right to win? He makes that decision. That's his job, and that's his decision to make. He's made it. But like I said, if I'm Shedeur Sanders, I'm taking this time to say, how can I get better? How can I become the best professional quarterback that I possibly can be? And don't be in a rush to want to play games because you only get one time to prove. You ain't nobody going to owe you like, man, hey, bro, I ain't had this person, I had that. They don't care nothing about that, bro. Yeah. They don't care nothing about that. If you muff a fumble on one opportunity, man, the ball was, hey, man, they threw you the ball, man, he held my arm. Hey, man, I was supposed to make the tackle, but he went there. Hey, man, I was supposed to throw the ball, but it was snowing. Hey, dog.
You might not get another.
You may not get none. Here we go, man. Next clip.
My boy Cayenne Anthony.
Okay, I watched it all the way through. I didn't chop it up. I watched it all the way through. Impromptu. This is me doing it live. This is live on the spot. We had people viewing it different ways in the chat. Nita sent it in. She told me where to start. We watched the entire thing. The first initial time I stopped what Cam was saying, I said he is not watching it. He doesn't know what's happening with the Cleveland Browns. That's the first thing I said. We watched the entire thing play out. Do I view this any differently? No. He's not watching them. He's not watching them. It's a lazy take. I can spot a lazy take about the Browns 10 miles away. It's easy. I can spot it. As soon as they start reading his stats and stuff, I can spot it. It's a lazy take. It's lazy. That's all it is. It's lazy. This is one of those educated, uneducated takes. Facts. It's just bad. And also, he's stating the obvious. So earlier, when Zach Jackson was speaking, and we said Zach Jackson was stating the obvious regarding what the players said after the game, Cam Newton, the point that he was right was stating the obvious. Shedeur, get better. Get better as being a professional. Keep adding tools to your books. Look at what everybody else is doing. That's stating the obvious. It was no additional insight he gave us, and a lot of that is coming because he's just not watching the games, man. He ain't watching the games. Sanders is on thin ice because this is a right now league and he has the bright lights on him. I think he will be fine though. Q, I agree with you. He's gonna be fine, but the way that they are writing these narratives about Shedeur needs to go out there and get it on film. Nobody can take the Carolina game away from him. No, just like nobody can take the Rams game away from him. I would say I agree with Nita. He didn't give us any additional insight. He did not rely on his extensive playing career and knowledge to give us his breakdown. This was I want to talk on Shedeur. I need a Shedeur clip. That's what this was. This has happened a lot. People need their Shedeur clip. They're not breaking down the film. They're not doing it. They're not doing it. They are just talking to talk, y'all. His commentary is equivalent to Mary Kay and Tony Grossi. Facts. He didn't watch it. So if y'all know me, I'll hear you out, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to make my decision when I hear the lack of information in your argument. So we heard him out. We saw what it was. He's not watching the Browns. He's saying it's not all on the quarterback. Shedeur can't be any better. It was a couple points that he was so wrong on. The Browns defense is not bad. The Browns do have a run game. The run game is being more contained because they can't take the top off the defense. These are things that Shedeur is better at than Dillon Gabriel. Dillon Gabriel can't read the field. He can't see the whole field. So to say it would be no different, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Y'all got to see me do it live. So y'all got to see me. Cam, you got to watch the tape, man. You got to watch the tape. While some truth in there, Cam is a perfect example of people of media becoming victims of success. Now they're big time and busy, and they don't sit and watch, but watch the highlights and quote stats. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Do I think Sanders is better than Cam Ward? Yes. Cam Ward has limitations in his game, and his limitations are Cam Ward's limitations are he relies on his athleticism and his arm talent more so than he thinks through the game. So he will hold the ball because he know he can make a better throw, and he misses on layups. I watched a lot of his film this year. It was very hard to watch. So they're not a good team, and they're not building or making anything easy for him. They're not building off of the success in the run game with Tony Pollard to throw the ball, and he's trying to be a superhero back there. So that's just it. You can ask me questions, and I'll give you answers. I just can't guarantee that you're always going to agree with the questions you ask me. So eliminate the gray is the basis. Eliminate the gray is the basis for my podcast. And I'm not going to dance in the middle. I'm going to say, this is how I feel, and this is how I feel. So that's just it. Let's keep it moving.
They're just trusting that their receivers are going
to. Shout out to you, Q-Dog. I appreciate that.
To be in a certain spot at a certain time. And so to sit there and just say, well, it's a height issue for Dillon Gabriel, and that's why he can't see what's going on. I think that was Tommy Rees's way of trying to.
Let me rewind this back. It's a different point I want to show from this. I want to show how they're flip-flopping to now say 26 is not going to be a good draft class. They're saying the draft class of 2027 is going to be better for QBs, but they are not putting in the work and watching the film.
I want Dillon Gabriel to take a seat and get a rest. I'm not doing the Kyler Murray thing. No. Lord, no.
Yeah, I don't want Kyler Murray. Let's get past
that. I'm kind of with you there.
Okay.
27 is going to be that year, and so you almost feel like, based on the current situation the Browns are stuck with the two rookies, that maybe another reclamation project might be the
So they are already writing off Shedeur. This is why what Cam is saying makes no sense. They're already writing off Shedeur. So Shedeur has to put tape out there. They go from the draft is not good to now they're saying that the draft is not good this year, so now we need a reclamation project. They're floating out the Kyler Murrays. They're floating out the Mac Jones. They're saying all this stuff in bypassing Shedeur. That's why Shedeur has to go out there and play. That's why he got to play. So that's why the basis of what Cam was saying didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. So let's keep it moving. Now let's get to Emory Hunt. Emory Hunt, I'm going to give you all some breakdown on Emory Hunt.
But you're going to be the only one.
Emory Hunt watches more football than I would say anybody that we see on national TV. He does a breakdown of over 1,500 players. If there's a player who starts to perform well in the NFL, Emory Hunt will just drop a post on X giving you a full breakdown of that said player because he does it. He really does this. So this is him speaking on what ISO's question was, the Cam Ward versus Shedeur. Yeah, the Kyler Murray situation just came out of nowhere. I don't know why. This is insane. Shedeur has not one snap in NFL. Crazy. They're trying to jump right past him. Exactly. What is Cleveland problem with wanting to go after these QBs nobody wants? I don't know. They like digging through the garbage, I guess.
That has him higher than Cam Ward. Why do you have Shedeur? And I know you love Cam Ward. I mean, you were telling me about Cam Ward. I can't wait till you post on social media today that the draft guide's out and I can repost and say, this guy was telling me about Cam Ward at Incarnate Word and Shedeur Sanders at Jackson State. Like, I just can't wait till you post that today.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Also, I want y'all to hear what he just said. He also had Cam Ward. He also had Shedeur over Cam. And this is from months ago. This is from 7 months ago. So this is not a new take. I'm taking it back. This is a little rewind for y'all. But we gotta show some support, or actually somebody shows some support. So we gotta cut this off the screen.
Oh my God! Wow! I got money.
I need everybody to put Nita J in the chat. Everybody put Nita J in the chat. Spam that chat with Nita J. She hit that cash app. This is what she said. Your switch up based on what the chat is talking about is why your channel is fire. Hey, we do this thing live. We do this thing live. I had a whole show put together to go a certain way. There was a lot of interest in how we view the situation with Cam. So Nita J sent it to me and we broke it down and we watched the whole thing and I gave you my opinion. So I know a lot of people ain't doing it like this, but this is why you got to tune in Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Tap in 10:30 a.m. This is how we do it. Also, live on the weekends for Browns games. Reminder, this Sunday Browns game, it is a 4:25 start. 4:25 start. Remember that. So on Sunday, we will be live at 4:15. So remember, it's not going to be 12:50 like normal because it's a 4:25 start. Remember that. But that's when we do it. Thank you, Nita J, always supporting me. They're trying to skip past Shedeur. Trying to skip past him. This is Emory Hunt breaking it, saying it a long time ago.
I know you love Cam Ward.
Let me speed it up for y'all just a little bit.
So it says a lot about you and Shedeur that you have Shedeur ahead of him. Yeah, you have Cam Ward number 2, but why do you like Shedeur more than Cam?
For me, it was always about the situation of football in terms of red zone offense, backed up offense, 4-minute offense, end of game situations, need to have it situations. That's where Shedeur Sanders was starring as a true freshman and throughout his career. How many times we tuned in at 3 a.m. East Coast time to a Colorado game and they're on the 1 yard line and they have to go 99 just to stay in the game, and they go 99 to stay in the game, and sometimes they win it or sometimes the defense gives up the touchdown. But that's when Shedeur was able to lock in, and he was consistent with that. Cam Ward actually improved in that area as he went to different stops. So yes, he's trending in the right direction, and we saw him handle that role much better at Miami than at Washington State. And so when you look at a game from Cam Ward's at Washington State, let's say the Oregon game, where they had that game won against Bo Nix in the highly ranked Oregon Ducks, but they just was making inconsistent plays and the turnovers. The next thing you know, they lose that game to Oregon. Juxtaposed to this year in the Miami game with Miami, and you watch him like hey, they need a touchdown. All they got to do is get the ball back to Miami, and they're going to go down and score. And we saw.
So there you go. He can break it down. He can speak to it. You ask him a question, why do you like this player more? He breaks it down and tells you exactly why he likes said player more. That's a big difference. That's what a lot of people can't do. They can hate on one player. You ask them a question, they can't tell you why they appreciate one player more. He breaks down the film. That's why he can see it. That's why he can see it. What's crazy is people out here not trusting their pre-draft takes because of where Shedeur was drafted. Stay true to what you believe. It'll pan out eventually. If it doesn't, it's okay. Talk to him, Zedric. Is the game televised on Sunday? I know it's going to be a Fox game. I know it's going to be Fox. I think it'll be region-based, but it is a Fox game, 425. It's only a couple games in that 4 o'clock window, so it just depends on what area you live in if it'll be on TV or not. Man, I don't know what's going on in the chat, but whatever it is, I support whatever Marie does and says. So if she say it and she do it, I stand with Marie. Not holding Stefanski accountable. Maurice, I agree with that. I was at the Colorado versus Colorado State game. That was a good game, man. We was up late. We was up late on the East Coast watching that. Cam wasn't 144 picks better than Shedeur, and I stand on that 10 toes to the earth. Triple Threat Sports, I agree. Totally agree. If you pull up the Cam Ward highlights, you will hear the commentator say, Cam, with time, he had a premier offensive line that covered up the out-of-structure struggle he could have suffered. I get it. I saw it. So he's still doing similar things in the NFL. His first game, shout out to you, Nita J. We know you're gonna be here on Sunday. I appreciate you. Cam Ward's first touchdown pass in the NFL could have easily been an interception. He was rolling to his right. He threw late across the body to the middle of the field for a touchdown. His first touchdown is a play that they tell every quarterback not to make. They never tell you rolling one way. If you're rolling right, they never tell you throw it late across your body to the left. If you're rolling left, they never tell you throw it late across your body to the right. That's what they tell quarterbacks not to do. That's how he got his first touchdown in the NFL. Very first. So even his first thing that they would really celebrate was something that they tell quarterbacks not to do. So my views are coming from watching these guys actually play. Watching them play. That's Emory Hunt. I want to give you all a little breakdown. Emory Hunt has been right, and he's been calling these situations out in real time. So I'm just showing it to y'all. Let me get this down. Let's get this back up. This is him after the Rams game.
It's plays over players. At the end of the day, you got to give this kid a shot to redeem himself. That's the beauty of being a rookie. You're going to go out there, you're going to struggle, you're going to have some success, you're going to struggle again, but you want to see them come out on the other side. Now, Shedeur had 5 sacks, 5 drives, just was trying to impress coaches, the fans, trying to live up to what Dillon Gabriel just put out there on the field. And Kevin Stefanski handled that situation and this whole quarterback competition horribly, because you removed an opportunity for him to redeem himself in that situation, to go out as a winner. And again, it's not just we all see it. Players on the team sees it. Players on the opposing teams see it. They know what's going on. They know what's going down, but it's all about Kevin Stefanski's ego. We saw this with Baker Mayfield. Oh, it doesn't fit my system. Well, your system has to be about the players that are in it. And we've seen him do this because the offense was completely different when Dillon Gabriel was out there. It was a lot of, short, quick passes to get the ball out of his hands, spread the formation, which is great. That's what you're supposed to do for a guy that thrives in that situation. So I don't know why for Shedeur the offense changed. He kind of wanted to curate something around him. But at the end of the day, Shedeur recognized he had to play better. That game looked a lot like that UCLA game his first year.
So he's been one of those ones who's been calling out Kevin Stefanski the whole time. Has Emory Hunt been more right than wrong when he's been talking about the Browns and Kevin Stefanski? Y'all let me know. Let's keep it moving. He was even on Cleveland radio. He had these guys speechless.
Got the morning slot opportunities. You'll be like, man, this is unfair. And so this wasn't a real competition. That was my whole takeaway from how this handled. You can't say it's a competition and then not give everyone equal opportunities to compete for that said job. So that was the crux of my frustration, because I've seen this before at the high school level, I've seen it before at the collegiate level, and you've seen it time and time again at the professional level when, not every competition is a real one.
He's been calling it out in real time. He's been standing on his square, giving his views, giving his opinions. Y'all see it. Y'all see it right here. Standing on his square. He's been right time after time after time. People want to question him. They want to question him. He had Lima speechless. Speechless. Now y'all are going to start to see this go around. They asked him to give us predictions for the Cleveland or the AFC. And for some reason, Cleveland Browns media thought what he said was crazy. Let me know if y'all agree or disagree with what he's saying. And he's watched enough of Shedeur to point to a specific point in his career that struck similar feeling. Facts. He's putting in the work. I don't think anybody in college football watches more football than him. Nobody. Cam giving Shedeur the 5th round pick take when Shedeur dropped in the draft. That made Cam very happy. He doesn't like Shedeur. I don't know if he don't like him. They seem cool. They seem like they got competition. To me, I don't know if he doesn't like him. Yeah, Marie, you know it. I always appreciate when people don't dance around stuff. Tell me how you feel. We can always watch it play out, and we can see how it plays out. So that's what I appreciate. Tell me how you feel. See how it plays out. You're going to see this going around, though. Let's go.
In the division, I do feel like when we look across the AFC, one of those teams out west will take a significant step back. It will, in my opinion, be the Denver Broncos. That'll push the Pittsburgh Steelers into that spot of the 7th seed, and that's all they need to go to get to, the strive for that 7th seed to get to the postseason, and then, anything can happen once you're in the tournament. So I like them to get to the postseason. I like one of the teams out west to take that step back to where that opens up a spot for Pittsburgh.
All right, let's talk about these Cleveland Browns. Coming off a Week 10 loss to the Jets, Cleveland is reportedly not yet ready to hand over the reins from Gabriel to rookie Shedeur Sanders, but it's only a matter of time before they do, right? When you look at their schedule, the rest of the season, how do you see things going for Cleveland, and at what point do they kick the tires on Shedeur?
Well, we won't see Dillon Gabriel win another game, so he'll lose this game against the Baltimore.
We won't see Dillon Gabriel win another game. Cam even knows Shedeur's better. He probably does. He's seen Shedeur's success. Cam don't like Shedeur D. He showed it many times in his take. I got to pay more attention to it. But y'all be on point. So y'all let me know if I'm missing something. So I'm going to take your word for it. But I haven't really looked into it deeply. I will say that.
Baltimore Ravens. He'll lose the game on the road against the Raiders, and then we'll see Shedeur Sanders start at home against San Francisco. Shrewd business move here because 4 of the last 6 games are at home. They got to fill that stadium up, so why not start the highest selling rookie jersey with 4 of those home games on the back end of the schedule? They'll beat San Francisco. Everybody will go crazy. They'll beat the Titans, and that game probably get flexed because why? 2 top quarterbacks going up against one another, Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. It's going to be box office, right? They'll win that game, then they'll lose to the Bears. They'll beat the Bills, and that will get everybody going crazy again. They'll lose to Pittsburgh and Mike Tomlin. That'll be a 9-6 ball game. Defense will reign supreme. And then they'll close out with a win against the Bengals, going into the offseason with their franchise quarterback already in tow in Shedeur Sanders. They have all that draft capital now to draft good players around him. And the reason why I feel like San Francisco is the best spot to start Shedeur Sanders, because if they're going in order of when they drafted these guys, Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, they just want to give Dillon Gabriel more games, more starts than Shedeur. Dillon would have 7, Shedeur would have 6, but we know Shedeur would make do with what he's given with those 6 games. He'll win 4 of them going into the offseason. A lot of optimism heading.
All right, so he put it out there. He made it very clear how he feels. Dillon won't win any more games. I don't see Dillon win any more games either. So I don't disagree there. The teams that he feels the Browns can beat, I don't think this is that crazy if you've been watching the NFL. He thinks the Browns can beat the 49ers. The 49ers are not this juggernaut with Mac Jones like people want to believe. They are playing good, but they're an injury-prone team. They can be had. Y'all saw what the Rams just did to them on Sunday. Then he said they'll beat the Titans. The Titans are probably the worst team in the NFL in lines with the Jets, maybe. So okay, that's not crazy. At Bears, I don't think they're gonna go undefeated, but saying that they lose to the Bears, okay, I can understand it. I don't think it's a big thing. Saying they could beat the Bills, this is the sticking point. It's who the Bills are and who people believe the Bills to be. People believe that the Bills are so much better than they are because of how they looked at them at the beginning of the year. When the Browns beat Miami, everybody said, oh, y'all just beat Miami. It's a team in dysfunction. It's a team that's quitting. Everybody said that. Then the Miami just beat the Bills. So if it wasn't a big thing for us and the team that we beat is in dysfunction and then they lose to Miami, that's not crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's not crazy. I don't think it's crazy that they could beat the Bills, lose to the Steelers. Always tough to play the Steelers, and then win in Cincinnati. I don't think this is crazy. Now, if he said undefeated, Shedeur throw for 1,000,000 yards, then maybe, but I don't think this is crazy, his take right here. I will say this. Now, the sticking point for a lot of people is going to be that Bears game. The Bears game. When I look at the Bears, I'm going to explain to y'all what the biggest issue is with the Cleveland Browns defense. The Cleveland Browns defense can be exposed by offensive play callers who are really good at scheming things up. And Ben Johnson, yeah, Dawn, we're talking about Shedeur with this, not Dillon. Not Dillon. Ben Johnson is known to scheme up a really good offense, and people who can scheme up a good offense can take advantage of the Cleveland Browns defense. They can take advantage of their aggressiveness. And I think that could be the reason why he's saying they could lose to the Bears. Browns also tend to struggle a little bit with quarterbacks who can move around. We know Caleb can move around. And they have weapons. So to a lot of people, it might be a sticking point, but I don't think this is crazy. I don't think this is a crazy view. What's going on? CO7 111. What's good? Hunt has always been consistent in his support of Shedeur, and he's not afraid to be critical of Stefanski like these other analysts like Stephen A. and McCoy. That's a fact. Great show, great content as always. Hit the like and subscribe. Come on now, Marie. I appreciate you always. You know that.
I got money.
Everybody put Marie in the chat. Put Marie in the chat. Marie probably like, dang, you always give a speech when I do something. But I just got to tell y'all, Marie was one of those people early on. It was some people who really believed in me early on. And I'm just going to shout them out along with Marie, who's always been supportive. Marie, Beast, Ms. Brown, Zedric, Spiritual War Exposed. When I go back and I look at some of my early streams and I'm looking for when I said something, it was just certain people who was always right there in my corner, supporting me, pushing me to be better. And that's definitely Marie, as well as the people that I named. So Marie, I'm always going to give you your props and always going to show you love. You always show me love. So I appreciate you. I'm going to keep it short this time, but everybody put Marie in the chat. I definitely appreciate her. Always appreciate her. Now, that's Emory Hunt. I don't think that was too crazy, what he said. So I don't think that was too crazy. Emory Hunt on point, but right now the Browns ticket sales are $6 right now. I wouldn't be surprised. Shedeur start fourth quarter on Sunday or against the Raiders next Sunday, and they're building that stadium. I can't disagree with that. To me, I think that after this week is really going to be pressure on them actually playing Shedeur, losing to Baltimore, because I don't see them winning. But I will say the one point he said, why he said it wouldn't be until they play the 49ers, is because they want to give Dillon Gabriel more games started than Shedeur. And it looks like they are trending that way, so I can't even disagree with that. I can't even disagree with it. It does seem like they want to make sure that Dillon Gabriel has more opportunities than Shedeur, so I can't even argue with it. So But if it was up to me, I would give him that one more opportunity.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
Versus Baltimore to confirm that he is who I thought he was, and then I would move on. I would move on from there. So that would be me. But that's Emory Hunt. I just want to make sure I showed y'all who Emory Hunt is, and just make sure that there's going to be people who highlight this and want to say, oh, it's all because he likes Shedeur and all this stuff. But they never watched as much football as he has or watched these guys in college. So big difference. Let's get to why y'all are here. Let's get to people exposing their hand with the way that they view Shedeur, the gaslighting, the plausible deniability, and all the things that they have done. Mr. Ross Tucker, the flip-flopper who his granddad hated Coach Prime. Let's go. They're wasting everyone's time putting Dillon out there to embarrass himself every Sunday. KC, I totally agree. Baltimore will be the game for me. Zedric, I agree. I don't think the Browns are going to win this Sunday. It will be a wrap. Emory sounds very knowledgeable. Must be his last name. You see it. Ivy League Mac, what's going on? Yeah, he's just not talking out the side of his neck. He's not just talking out the side of his neck. He actually put in the film. He put in the work. And you can see when a person can go to a game from Shedeur's first year in college and say this game was similar and break down the points and the reasons why, you know they're watching the film. That's my big issue with Cam Newton. He ain't watching the film. Let's go back to Ross Tucker.
It is the craziest thing I've ever experienced as a broadcaster. If you say anything positive about Shedeur Sanders, there's like an army. I don't know if they're bots or what, but there's like an army of people on social media that will just kill you and say, stop kissing up to him. He's not good, blah, 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 blah. Conversely,
I agree with that point. There are a lot of people who hate Shedeur. And online, they go crazy and they just want to argue about Shedeur. I agree with that point. Let's see if I agree with his next point, though.
if you say anything even a little bit critical, there's an even bigger army of bots that comes out of the woodwork.
Yeah, it's
just
nuts.
say, how dare you say that? How can you say that?
And this is where I start disagreeing with him. I criticize Shedeur for running backwards. Nobody came at me. Nobody started spamming the comments. Nobody started going crazy saying, hey, what are you saying? Shedeur ran backwards. Nobody did that. People come at you when you lie about Shedeur. That's just it. Full stop. When you lie about Shedeur, people come at you. That's what it is. They come at you when you lie about Shedeur. Not when you say facts. Not when you give critique or criticism of him needing to get better at something. So this is where he starts to slip and fall. This is where he starts to slip and fall. Oh, man. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. That is for Selmo Ford. That is for Marie S. Thank you for y'all service. Thank you for y'all service, and thank you, for y'all sacrifice for this country. It's greatly appreciated. I'll say that first. And also, he said, Marie S. is a real one. We served our country at the same duty station in Germany. Thank you to both of y'all for y'all service. Thank you to both of y'all for y'all support. I appreciate that, and I appreciate y'all. Thank you, and salute to y'all.
It's like, you guys, I don't know if there's a way to do this, but you should go check out my social media mentions when I did Colorado State last year. I mean, depending on what I said and depending on the quarter, it's people just killing me from either side. At no point did anybody say I was doing a good job. If I was saying good Shedeur, it's like, bad Shedeur, it's like, so maybe I don't want him to start the next
it
round.
reminds me of Tim Tebow.
And this is where they just go off the rails. I think it's so disingenuous to bring up Tim Tebow. What they are trying to do is they're trying to equate his following to Tim Tebow. The problem is everybody knew Tim Tebow was not an NFL quarterback, so I think it's disingenuous when they bring up Shedeur with Tim Tebow. And it's lazy. It's a lazy take. And they all do this, and it is a backhanded way of saying maybe Shedeur isn't a good quarterback, just like Tim Tebow wasn't a good quarterback, and they just had a big following. Tim Tebow had to switch and go play tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Shedeur is never going to be switching to go play tight end. So they got to stop putting their name in the same sentence because I know what they're doing. The alcoholic Russ Tucker hate that Shedeur has the support he has. Facts. When you come into someone's house, you show respect. Hit the like button. Folks, Triple Threat Sports, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. His fan base is nearly 7 million strong. The fact that he needs to infer Shedeur supporters are bots inhumane shows his fear that a young black man could pull that amount of support and have some sort of influence. Talk to him. What people want to do is, this is the question that they always ask people, and this is how you know that it's more of a support thing, going to what CO7-111 says. What if Shedeur doesn't do well? What they want you to say is, if Shedeur doesn't do well, I'll stop supporting him. I'll never look at anything he does. I'll take back his jerseys and all that stuff. That's what they want you to say. But when you say, I will support Shedeur even if he doesn't have success right away, it eats them alive when you say that. It eats them alive. Because they could never imagine having the amount of support that Shedeur has. And most of the people just need to hug this themselves. They wish they can get 1% of the support that people have for Shedeur. And that's what they want. They want to move you off of your support of him because they don't have that support their own. So you were on to something, C07-111. Not nearly the same thing. Tebow was like Dillon. Zedrick, that's a fact. Cam was thrown to wide open receivers after rolling out in Miami because of that sidearm motion. Yeah. I told people that I didn't want my quarterback to be overly athletic because they would lean on their athleticism. You almost don't want your quarterback to be too good with his arm talent because they will use it and rely on it, especially when it's not necessary. Especially when it's not necessary. So all those arm angles, we watched Arch Manning starting from game one, throwing passes using all those crazy arm angles, and he was just so inaccurate. And I was like, his fundamentals are bad. It's an easy way to not step up the game with your fundamentals when you're using all these different arm angles that guys use and they have success with it and they keep doing it. And it's muscle memory built in to keep doing it. So Sanders support equals power. Talk to him, Ivy League Mac. Because we identified a struggle. Talk to them, Don. They want you to move off of them. They want you to not support them. That's what it is. They need hugs. They need hugs. And they're just upset that you're not going to move off your support of someone. That's why they're mad. Let me skip this ahead to really the worst part of what he said regarding this whole Shedeur Coach Brown thing.
His dad has a lot to do with it. Listen, I still remember, guys.
Let me not skip it forward. Let me take it back just slightly so y'all can hear the setup to it. No, we're here for Shedeur, win or lose, in the NFL or out. We got his back. A lot of us have been watching and supporting the Sanders family since he was a little kid. That's why he's our nephew. Talk to him, Marie. Talk to him. Everybody, put C.A. Anderson in the chat. C.A. Anderson in the chat.
Oh my God! Wow!
I got money.
C.A. Anderson, I appreciate your kind words. I love your content. You are a breath of fresh air. True, truth, and unapologetic. I like it. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. When I go live, one thing that I like to do is be myself. So every day I get up here, or not every day, but y'all know when I go live, I'm being myself. I'm not playing a character of someone else. I'm not trying to parrot someone else's beliefs. I'm giving you my beliefs. I do see things a certain way. I'm open to changing how I view things with new information, but certain things, I'm just going to tell you, this is how I feel, and I'm going to stand on it. And that makes it easier for me to show up every day, just giving you myself, instead of me getting up here playing a role and me, bouncing here, bouncing there. No, I'm just going to give you myself, and the people who like it, I appreciate them. The people who don't, I understand. I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I accept that. I have the courage to be disliked. That's a great book. And once I got to that point, at this big age that I'm at, if you don't like me, I don't feel no type of way. Keep it moving. And if you appreciate me, I appreciate you. So thank you, C.A. Anderson. I really appreciate that. Doing something different tonight. Going to see my first G League team with the Cleveland Charge play at their home opener. Question for you, Selma Fudd. Are they still playing at CSU? Are they still playing at CSU? I saw some clips from last year games, and it looked like it was a good time. It looked like it was a good time. When I saw one of the games, they was playing at CSU, and I was like, man, that'd be fun, especially because it's more fast paced, more high flying. So hopefully you enjoy the game, man. Enjoy the game. So more fun. You're right about nephew Shedeur. Been following since high school. Facts. And people have been following before that. People have been following him since he was about 6-7 years old. And they just want you to move off of that support you have for the Sanders family. One of these QBs would have been successful behind the line Shedeur had at Colorado. None of them, really. None of them. They don't even know what to do or how to deal with it. That's what happened to Jackson Dart. Public auditorium right now. Okay, got you. Hey, enjoy yourself, man. Enjoy yourself. That is what happened to Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart got up there, was throwing himself around like a rocket, and got himself injured. Let's get to what he said about Coach Prime and his dad.
Kaepernick had obviously the cause that he stood up for. It seems like it happens when it's more than football. I'm not really sure why with Shedeur it's more than football. I think obviously his dad has a lot to do with it. Listen, I still remember, guys. I'm not kidding you.
So he started off acting like he didn't know why people have issues with Shedeur. I hope y'all caught that. I don't really know. It's not really the religious thing. So y'all heard him doing that. He playing a game right here. He is playing a game. He playing the plausible deniability game before he gets to it. He's right there. That's what he's doing, y'all. And then listen what he's going to say afterwards. I learned a lot from your film breakdown. You take your time and you have some great takes. C.A. Anderson, I appreciate that. I like that you read the chat's comments. Of course. You know what I'm saying? We in this together. I appreciate y'all. So I make sure that I show y'all that I see y'all and that, we having a conversation. Dawn, you see it. It's coming out. It's coming out right here.
My grandfather, who played in the leather helmet days, like God bless his heart, he hated Deion Sanders so much.
I'm stopping it right there so y'all hear that. My grandfather, this is what he said. These are Ross Tucker's words. Don't clip this and say these are my words. Ross Tucker's grandfather played in the leather helmet days, and he said he hated Deion Sanders. He hated it. Those are his words. I'm going to roll it back so y'all can hear it. Because first, he didn't know why people view Shedeur this way. But then he speaks on Shedeur's father, and he's acting like he can't tie the two things together. Let's go back.
I think obviously his dad has a lot to do with it. Listen, I still remember, guys. I'm not kidding you. My grandfather, okay, who played in the leather helmet days, like God bless his heart, he hated Deion Sanders so much that in 2004, I was starting at center for the Bills against the Ravens.
Have a good one, Dawn. We'll catch you this weekend. Casey, you heard that. He hated him so much. You heard that. These are his words.
Ravens. And this is when Deion came back and was playing for the Ravens. He offered me 10 grand to take out Deion in the game. My grandpa, okay? I was 20.
I don't think that's funny. I don't know if it was an uncomfortable laugh. G. Bush kind of laughed a little. He covered his head, covered his face. But you see Bull and you see Jay, the way they laughing, I don't think that was a laughing thing. I wouldn't be laughing at this. This is very dangerous. This is not a laughing matter. Coach Prime can walk down the street and have no idea who this person is. And this person can have that much hate in his heart for Coach Prime. I don't think that's a laughing matter. I don't think that's a joking thing. I don't think that, oh, this is a funny story. I don't think it was that. This is not a laughing matter to me. When it comes to a person's safety, a person's livelihood, a person's ability to earn, and somebody wanting to eliminate that or take that away from you, I don't consider that a laughing matter. I don't consider that a laughing matter. And they got a good big old laugh about it. And usually, when people laugh this way about these situations, they have either heard somebody speak about somebody that way, or they have spoke about somebody that way, and they know what he's saying is truth. They know he's not making this up. And this is not a laughing matter to me. That's a fact. 85-year-old man talk about bounties. There's some skeletons in that closet. That's a fact. And I don't want y'all to think I'm just clipping this and I'm, misinterpreting what's happening. No, this is right when he says it, they all start laughing. Now, G. Bush, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. It looks like a nervous laugh. But the other ones, it don't look like a nervous laugh. Let's watch it again.
I was starting at center for the Bills against the Ravens. And this is when Deion came back and was playing for the Ravens. He offered me 10 grand to take out Deion in the game. My grandpa.
Look at the body language. G. Bush had that nervous laugh, covered his face, pulled his hat down. You would think that he just said the most funny joke they ever heard in their life, the way they're laughing, Bull and Jay right now. That is not okay. That is not okay. He dog whistled and they barked as expected. Facts. The tell was that they all covered their mouths when they laughed. It was a nervous response. They know it was wrong. I'm going to give G. Bush that pass. But the other two,
Grandpa, okay? I was 25. He's 85.
Bull hand never came up to cover his face. Never came up. Never came up to cover his face. I'm sorry. We got to do it this way. We got to break it down. We got to see it. Now,
was playing
Bull hand didn't come up. Let's see about
he
Jay.
He offered me 10 grand to take out Deion in the game. My grandpa, okay? I was 25. He's 85. Oh.
Now, G. Bush looked uncomfortable. Bull just laughed through it. Bull just laughed. Jay, you can say that was maybe 50-50. He covered his face. But to me, this is not a laughing matter. And this proves that they were gaslighting people the entire time. When people said they hated Coach Prime, they were doing stuff to get back at Coach Prime. I want y'all to remember a key point about this story. His dad played in the NFL in the leather helmet days. He said it. So people always say, no, it ain't had nothing to do with Coach Prime. When people rightfully called it out right away, this confirms people have this level of disdain and hate for Coach Prime. They have it. It's there. And I want these people to keep talking. I want them to keep putting the truth out there about how they really feel about people. And then we can make sure we view them the way that they should be viewed based on the things that they say and based on how they view people. Because this was the worst thing I heard. If it was me, if I was running CBS and I heard him volunteer this information, I would not attach my company to him going out speaking on our behalf. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. He will be off his game this weekend. I would not attach to this. I don't think that's what they're going to do, but I would not attach my name to this. I would not. That's the privilege lab. That's a fact. I'm in tears right now. You read my thoughts in my email. CA, you know what it is. Why didn't they ask why? Nobody asked why. They just roll with it. That was uncomfortable. I think it was uncomfortable for G. Bush. Jay kind of covered his face. Bull just laughed through it. The same people laughing are the same ones whose ancestors went to picnic. Facts. Facts. Shedeur's QB coach has scramble drills that he runs with Shedeur and Cam Ward. Sad part is Deion has been one of the more caring and giving players in the league. The way former players talk about him is always positive. That's a fact. It's slowly coming out. The truth is coming to the light. The truth is coming to the light. Correct. That's a slight. Tell me the usual age of owners. They usually all 70 plus. There you go. Exactly. Leather helmet days. Doggy Bone, you heard that. That was a key. Because what people tried to do was, people tried to say, why would they hate Coach Prime? Tell me why his granddad hated Coach Prime so much. That's not a question for me to tell you why his granddad hated Coach Prime. That's a question for his granddad and for Ross to say why they hated Coach Prime so much. That's not a question for me. I'm not the one that hate Coach Prime. That's a question for the people who have those feelings. They even say Prime had the talent to get away with it. A lot of stuff in Shedeur doesn't. It was signs that was there. It was signs that was there. That this had way more to do with Coach Prime. If y'all remember, the second night of the draft, Coach Prime was saying, Lord, put it on me. Take it off of Shedeur. Why do you think he's saying that? He know these people in these rooms hate him. And they hate him because he's a cocky, confident. Not cocky. Let me take this back. They hate him because he is confident in what he can do, and he delivered, and he did it right in his face the way he told you he was going to do it, and they couldn't stand it. They couldn't stop him. They couldn't stop him. If you look at baseball, baseball has all these unwritten rules about not showing up the other team. Why? Why are the rules made for the losers? Winners determine the rules. Coach Prime said, I'm going to beat you. There's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. And he went out there and beat you. Coach Prime should make the rules, not the losers. Losers don't get to make the rules. Losers make the rules to protect the fact that they're losers. That's what it is. So the winner goes the spoil. If I play a person in Madden and I win, I got the right to talk trash or be quiet. The loser does not have the right to tell me how to celebrate my win. That is how sports used to go. It was like that in baseball. It's a lot. What do they say? The unwritten rules of baseball. What do they say about the NFL? They used to flag you for celebrating. They used to flag you. They used to call it a taunt. It's the winner taunting the loser on said play. It's the losers who are making the rules because they couldn't win. They couldn't win. That is why they hated Coach Prime so much. That is why. That is why. Jay prompted Ross to telling that story. He heard it before, thought it was okay to repeat. Jay gets no pass. Yeah, that's why I said Bull didn't cover his face. Jay was laughing all hard. Jay, I take it how you take it. Happy to get the story out there. They didn't like Coach Prime for what he represents, Cedric. I heard it earlier and thought, first, did you take the 10K? Second thought was, this is a rally cry. I found it to be very egregious. Bounty hunters exist. Scary mess to put that out in the air. Facts, especially in hard times. The worst thing is for a person dealing with hard times who believe they have no way to go out there and say, oh, but if you go do this, you can get 10 grand. That's why this was not funny. This was not a laughing matter to me. If that had been Coach Prime saying something like that, it would have been national news. Talk to him. That is a fact. This was a perfect example of why Prime didn't want Shedeur going to certain teams. I know what's behind the curtains. There you go. What could Coach Prime also do? He could expose it. He could expose it. If y'all notice, the NFL does everything it can to not let things get exposed to how things really go. We saw it. We do we got to go down the list? Kaepernick paid off. Make sure we don't expose it. Nobody supposedly wanted Lamar Jackson when all those quarterback needy teams could have went after him. Guaranteed contracts. The collusion gets exposed and people act like it's not collusion. John Gruden is currently suing the NFL to have everything out there in the open. The NFL is using every resource to make sure what is happening doesn't get exposed. They don't want the truth to come to the light. That's what it is. There was a guy, I can't remember his name. He was on G. Bush's show. He did a profile on Anthony Lyman's show. His hate for Deion going back to 2011. Keith, you are correct. You are talking about FB Tings. Let me show y'all his channel if y'all are not familiar. Let me show y'all his channel.
How in the world are we?
I'm finding it for y'all. Sorry, this is not good podcasting. But Keith's point was really good, and I want to show it to y'all. I think it's going to be right after this. Let me pull it up. He's about to talk about it here. This is a really good point, so I just wanted to pull it up for y'all. Let's play it.
People didn't have a lot to say when they started winning games and went to a bowl game. So, you know, so he's been taking shots at Deion Sanders since 2011. I'm pretty sure Deion even thanked Casey Anthony. You know, the white lady that murdered her own child.
Y'all hear it. So that is what Keith was talking about. I saw that. I wanted to show it to y'all. Shout out to FB Tings. He was bringing the receipts yesterday with this video showing how long Anthony Lima has been hating on Coach Prime and the Sanders family. It is nothing new, but people need to know that this is the background of how these people really feel and how they really view people. So he exposed it right there. Jay knew exactly what he was. Let me say this right. Jay knew exactly what he was doing, and pretended like he didn't know who the reporter was. Facts. Look at how our HBCUs were depleted by these Power 5 institutions back in the day. They hate us, but always wanting to take something from us. Facts. Hey, you can't own it, but y'all can be the talent. And Latanya, yep, you got it right, FB Tings. So that was a video. If y'all want to go back and watch this video, FB Tings, Browns media caught lying on Shedeur Sanders is the title of the video. If you want to watch the whole timeline that he breaks down, definitely shout out to him. Definitely shout out to him. So I told y'all, man, we had a good episode for y'all today. I told y'all it was going to be good. I hope y'all enjoyed this time with me. I enjoyed this time with y'all. We got to look at a lot of different things. We looked at the Cam Newton situation right on the spot. Shout out to Nita. I know she'll be with us this weekend. Shout out to everybody who tapped in. Shout out to everybody who super chatted. Let me do something real quick. I think I can find it. Let's take this down right here. I just want to make sure we shout everybody out who showed their support. Because I definitely appreciate their support. Let's go here. Or actually, I think I can show it this way. Let me see. Shout out to Selmo Fudd. Shout out to Spiritual War Exposed. Shout out to Dawn Adams. Shout out to Charmaine. Shout out to Marie. Shout out to C.A. Anderson. Doggy Bone, shout out to you.
Oh my God! Wow!
I got money.
Shout out to you, Doggy Bone. I appreciate that. Everybody put Doggy Bone in the chat. Some money for the collection plate. Appreciate you. Collusion. Lamar wanted to be traded. Nobody called, but ATL threw money at Kirk. Come on. Facts. Talk to him. Talk to him. Big facts right there. There's no way you telling me you want Kirk Cousins over Lamar. Wow, thanks for showing that. I had no idea Lima dislike for Deion went back. That's crazy. Facts. It's out there. It's out there. Jealousy and envy has always existed in the NFL with marginal guys hating great players. Talk to him. Talk to him. It's been there. Definitely go check out that video, Marie. It's a good breakdown. And he goes how he's always been taking shots at Coach Prime, even while he's at Colorado. He never watches the games, but somehow he always has something to say about Coach Prime. So it's crazy what he's doing. I appreciate all of y'all for being here. Another great episode. Thank y'all for the support. Like, comment, subscribe. We do this thing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also go live 10 minutes before Browns game. We will be live this Sunday, 4:15 Eastern Standard Time. It is a 4:25 kickoff. Y'all enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy the first half of your Sunday and get ready to tune in and tap in for us having a good stream on Sunday. So thank you to everybody being here. I wouldn't be doing this without y'all, and I appreciate each and every one of you if you were in the chat. Thank you for always being here. And like I always say, man, shout out to y'all. Y'all be spending hours with me, man. Hours. I really appreciate that. I will not take it for granted. I will keep putting in the work and keep working to continue to grow and get better and make this a better viewing experience for y'all. So shout out to y'all. I will see y'all on Sunday. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. Peace.